this time we're making real.
Excellency Gaitri, Kumar, and the Right Honourable Lord Mayor, City of London, Alderman William Russell, ladies and gentlemen, delegates joining us from India and UK, welcome to you all, and welcome to the second UK India Sustainable Investment Forum. We are bringing together about 400 specialists and institutional investors from India and UK to showcase the latest development and trends in the Indian market. The first forum, as you know, was organized in Guildhall last year, and many of you were there. We are hoping that we will organize either in Guildhall or Mansion House. And as I was mentioning to Lord Mayor, we have been reserving the space every month, but cancelling it. So we are okay with this forum. But I wanted to hopefully next year we'll have it in Guildhall. So the 2 points which I wanted to share with you, which came out in last year's first forum, one was that ESG investment in India falls short of the actual potential of $380 billion is the potential for the Indian green investment, and we hope that we can work on these tasks for green projects. The second observation was to have a portal for India green investing in working together with UK and India, which can collate the information on green projects at one place. And I'm working with talking to various of our partners who are present here to sort of take it forward, these projects. With this remarks, may I invite High Commissioner to address.
Thank you, Dr. Kaul. Excellency Lord Mayor, Mr. William Russell, Madam Olivia Dixon, Mr. Ajit Dayal, I see Mr. Stephen Fox. Thank you all for your participation. I must say that I also cannot see many of the people participating from India. So to all the distinguished guests, a very good morning. This forum is a very special initiative of the High Commission of India to mark the birth anniversary of the father of our nation, one of the earliest and most iconic proponents of sustainability. Mahatma Gandhi had famously said that the earth has enough for every man's need, but not enough for their greed. Today, his prophetic words starkly remind us that our consumption patterns, very callous, without limit, are dangerously threatening our very existence. And the way that the global pandemic has altered our lives and the way that we do the most normal things now reminds us of the need to heed Gandhiji's advice on pursuing sustainable economic activity. So the goal of enhancing sustainability of every aspect of economic activity steered by sustainable financing should never be or can never be overemphasized. It should never be ignored. Gandhiji's views on simple and sustainable living transcended just environmentalism. His emphasis, I'd like to remind everyone, was from grassroots democracy and equal contribution of the government, businesses and civil society with the main objective of sustainable development. And we see his ideals reverberating today in the concept of the ESG. Public finance has been historically sensitive to these issues in our country. We've learned how good governance usually results in better profits. Our government has found, in fact, that since March 2020, when India went into the lockdown, the Nifty 100 ESG index had outperformed the conventional Nifty 50 index, showing that companies with better governance and more sensitivity to environment and society actually performed better than those who are not sensitive to these. Another report suggests that sustainable funds in India have actually shown resilience during the COVID triggered market sell off and has attracted more than $500 million in January to March, largely due to growing investor interest in environmental, social, and governance areas. So it's relevant to flag that India has been taking steps towards promotion of responsible and better corporate governance over the years. Since 2013, Indian corporate organizations have been obliged by law to use 2% of their profits on projects related to eradication of poverty and hunger, education, gender equality, environment as part of their corporate social responsibility. And they are also mandated to report on their activities to ensure these goals. The 2012 SEBI mandated a business responsibility reporting requirement for the top 100 listed entities based on market capitalization. And this was in conformity with the national voluntary guidelines on social, environmental, and economic responsibilities of business notified by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs of the Government of India. And now this BRR has been extended to India's top 500 companies. More recently, a proposal has been made to step up the non-financial reporting requirements for corporates. And there's a new reporting standard, the business responsibility and sustainability reporting. And that has been developed to be jointly piloted by the SEBI and the MCA. And this will be applicable to the top 1,000 companies in India. So our banks have been mandated also a very specific priority sector lending obligation, wherein they commit to extend 40% of all the loans to identified sectors such as agriculture, social infrastructure, and small renewable energy projects, and similar sustainable development priorities. As for the Reserve Bank of India, India figures prominently vis-a-vis its EME peers in green bonds issuance, as we were just discussing, second only to China. We have a total of about 7.7 billion US dollars during the period 2012 to 2018. So that's not bad, but as it was just mentioned, there is a huge potential waiting to be realized, and we are far short of that. I'm happy that there are going to be many key finance leaders from India and the UK in this forum, committed to sustainable finance and deepening our collaborations towards this common goal. So I'm going to be listening to everyone very carefully since I'm the new person in this partnership. Last year, I understand the focus of the forum has been sustainable investment, our India-UK partnership for sustainable development goals, sustainability strategies for Indian trade and infrastructure investment, and this included a very important Indian priority, that's India's Clean Ganga Sustainable Infrastructure Program. And but as it was then, our urgent priority today also is to work to ensure that current and future progress is sustainable so that future generations do not blame us for not doing enough at the moment that we were required to do it most urgently. I'd also like to mention our Prime Minister's personal initiative of the International Solar Alliance. It has 69 members. And we aim to mobilize at least $1 trillion investment in solar energy by 2030. And here the UK is India's top best partner in this alliance. India has set a target of generating 100 gigawatts of solar energy by 2022. So we look forward to a lot of partners in this, in this quest. Our transformational energy proficiency programs, particularly on LED bulbs, these have been recognized for their very, very significant and solid global impact. Looking at our population, this is not surprising. Our ambitious One Sun, One World, and One Grid project aims to create transnational electricity grid supplying solar power, and we want to do it across our subcontinent to our neighbors. Let's see if how quickly we can make this a very good global cooperation. Again, it's a matter of satisfaction that the UK, as a global financial center, features nearly 80 green bonds listed on the London Stock Exchange. India is one of the world's largest green energy markets today, as was just mentioned. We now allow 100% foreign investment in our renewable energy sector. Reinvest, which you all are familiar with, is a global platform to explore strategies for development and deployment of renewables. And this project also, this platform showcases India's green energy market and our government's efforts to scale up capacity to meet not only our national energy demand, but also, see how we can, set a good example and assist our neighbors. And we would like to make sure that it is in a very ecologically and sustainable manner. We therefore seek to move forward in close partnership with the UK in promoting sustainable finance. So the idea we just discussed to have an institute I think that's a very good idea, which we should follow up as soon as possible. Since 2016, Indian firms have already raised more than $7 billion, 7 million pounds in masala, dollar, and green bonds on the London Stock Exchange. So that's a good omen. These issuances have generated finance for our infrastructure projects, including not only roads and railways, but renewable energy. So our goal is to take all this forward to deepen our cooperation and also involve private sector flows into green projects. And this would once again strengthen India-UK efforts to do something for a better world, tackling global climate change at a time when the UK is going to assume leadership of COP26, and then of course change the way we generate energy and ensure energy security. I would also like to mention the 2019 joint India-UK Green Growth Equity Fund managed by the Eversource Capital. Again, this is to specifically promote sustainable energy projects. And it's a matter of satisfaction that we have invested over 240 million pounds of anchor capital into the fund. And we expect to raise about up to 500 million pounds from institutional investors. So we expect to provide a high quality conduit for international institutional investment, including from the City of London, into the green and renewable infrastructure projects in India through this fund. The recent $70 million investment by BP into the Green Growth Equity Fund is another matter of great satisfaction, as we see it as an important endorsement by the private sector of this common goal. So we also believe that the India-UK investment dialogue should make sustainable finance a part of its agenda. This is something my team and I are going to be sort of discussing with our counterparts. And as we look forward to COP26, we welcome the opportunity to strengthen our collaboration with the UK for climate action and green recovery, including the development of a definite strategy to expand super efficient equipment appliances deployment membership and raising minimum energy performance standards across high energy consuming product categories. We also have the collaboration between Indian Railways and UK's Department for International Development, supporting Indian Railways objectives of energy security, consumption energy, and greening of energy supplies. And we have a huge network. So this is another huge area of sustainability, where we really can do a lot and achieve a lot. So it's heartening to observe that there's a visible and growing trend towards adoption of ESG sensitive practices by us, by India, by our neighbors, by countries and industries across the world. And in fact, we can see from the statistics published by the Global Sustainable Investment Alliance that investment in sustainable assets was a total of $30 trillion in the 5 major markets of Europe, US, Japan, Canada, and Australia at the beginning of 2018. But as we all agree, much more is needed, especially in developing countries who need sustainable technology and access to sustainable finance. So we can discuss how to work on these. We look forward to working with the UK and like-minded partners to do all we can and more. And with these words, I look forward to hearing from everybody else on how you think that we can do more to realize these important goals. So with these words, I thank you all for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to hearing everybody else right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, High Commissioner. I know you have made investing in India as one of your priorities during your tenure as High Commissioner, and we will work with you and your colleagues in that direction. And may I now invite the Right Honourable, the Lord Mayor of City of London, Alderman William Russell. If I get it right, Lord Mayor, you are the 692nd Lord Mayor of City of London. That's how the institution goes as far as that. And as Lord Mayor, you're not only the head of the City of London Corporation, but you are also the global ambassador for the city and, in fact, the United Kingdom's financial and professional services sector. So we look forward to hearing from you, Lord Mayor.
Thank you very much, Secretary, High Commissioner, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to be part of the 2nd annual UK India Sustainable Investing Forum following last year's highly successful event. And I would like to thank the India Professionals Forum and the High Commission of India for bringing us all together. We are delighted that there is such a huge and expert support for this topic. We have an excellent set of speakers full of diverse ideas, all driving forward to increase activity in this field. Very aptly, this event commemorates 150 years of Mahatma Gandhi, and I have to mention here that as well as being a great hero of India, Gandhi is also a former resident of London. Here at the City, we work very closely with businesses and policymakers in India, including through our dedicated office in Mumbai. And I look forward to going on a virtual visit to India next month, and I hope to be able to visit in person again next year. Those of you who don't know, yes, I am the 692nd Lord Mayor, and I will be staying the 692nd Lord Mayor because I was re-elected for another year just last week. And the last time that happened was back in 1861. The Lord Mayor then was someone called William Cubitt of the building firm. And William Cubitt built Covent Garden here in London and also built on the Isle of Dogs something called Cubitt Town. And then it was his brother Thomas Cubitt who built Belgravia. But if we look back in time, there was another Lord Mayor that was Lord Mayor for 2 years back to back in 1397 and 1398. And he's probably the most famous Lord Mayor. He was Lord Mayor 4 times, four times, but he did those 2 years, and he just happened to be called Dick Whittington. So I joke that the Lady Mayoress is looking for a pussycat to bring to the Mansion House. Now, at last year's forum, we launched Untapped Potential, the first report of the joint UK-India Sustainable Finance Working Group, which the City of London Corporation helped set up with the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. We have continued to support this group in identifying the potential barriers to green finance and proposing solutions to overcome them. And we are working on 3 areas of progress for the group. India's sustainable finance framework, implementing clear and consistent definitions of sustainable finance, attracting international capital, identifying how sustainable investments into India might be more effectively de-risked, and third, assessing local finance for local projects, outlining how Indian policymakers can tap local capital for local sustainable projects. The City of London Corporation has also launched the Green Finance Institute, an independent organisation backed by the UK government to develop scalable financial solutions that accelerate sector-specific transitions to a low-carbon future. This reflects how green finance is a field in which the City of London has been pioneering modern and tailored instruments such as green sovereign bonds and green covered bonds. This year, as countries around the world start to emerge from COVID-19 induced lockdown, we are all radically reappraising our aspirations and assumptions for 2020 and beyond. Charting a pathway to recovery will be challenging, yet our shared goal of building back better is also an opportunity to align investor action with government-led policy direction. This is our time to forge a consensus to deliver sustainable and resilient growth. We in the City are committed to working with India and other international allies to play our part in this vital process. Within our own organisation, we have just agreed a climate action strategy which will go further than any other local authority in the UK to tackle climate change. And from the 9th to the 11th of November 2020, we will be hosting the Green Horizon Summit here in the Mansion House in collaboration with the World Economic Forum and the Green Finance Institute. I will be co-host with Mark Carney, who's assured me he will be flying back from Canada for it. I've offered him a bed for the night and a good bottle of wine, so hopefully that will bring him back. With the summit timed for when the UK would have been hosting COP26, we see this as an opportunity to mark the most of the enforced delay and build momentum and ambition in advance of COP26 in Glasgow next year. Recognizing the sustainability is the biggest challenge, but also the biggest investment opportunity of this generation. And as we are also in the run-up to the next UK-India economic and financial dialogue, I look forward to our 2 nations working closely together to strengthen links and reduce barriers as part of our post-pandemic economic recovery. Finally, I would like to give thanks to Manish Singh, Minister Economic at the High Commission of India, for the assistance and support provided to the City of London Corporation during your tenure. As we bid you farewell, I would like to thank you for the vital support you have given the City of London and the UK in furthering UK-India relations during your time. Many thanks. It is my pleasure to open this event in the memory of Mahatma Gandhi, and I hope we can all move forward with his teaching foremost in our mind. Our greatest ability as humans is not to change the world, but to change ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord Mayor, for those kind words. And we will follow your words, and we will follow what you mentioned and what the High Commissioner mentioned. And one of the things we'll be working with, or will be on this UK-India Sustainable Investing Institute, possibly, and to take it forward from here. Please, I know there are a number of sessions that we have. One session which follows this is on ESG investing, and later on we have on green finance. And some of the experts you can see and others are there. And please stay as long as you can, both High Commissioner and Lord Mayor. I know you have other appointments, but thank you both for joining us in opening this forum. And I will then now invite Olivia Dixon to start the first technical session.